Hello, Patriots. Today on Andrew R. Slagle's Mathnasium YouTube channel extravaganza, I'm going to swallow a sword. But first, we're going to go over a couple things about this engineering project we got going on. And that project is currently posted on my website. All right, let's go and check out the Mathnasium. A quick reminder, you can find lots of great things for your course on the Mathnasium. I posted on Friday the project and what is supposed to happen on your first day that you work on that project. So I'm going to go ahead and rehash that conversation for you right now. And let's go ahead and take a peek at this document and all of its goodness. Try and start this class every year with a challenge. This one is new for me, so it's going to be new for you as well. It's going to be very simple for us to all do at home. And I'm going to go over the rules of the competition. It's not really a competition, it's just kind of like a challenge that we're going to kind of rehash once everyone's done. If you have picked up materials from school, you may have noticed you got a large sheet of black butcher paper. That is for this project. Our class, the engineering period 1, as well as several of Mr. Olson's classes, are all doing this challenge. If you're in both classes, then I guess you get to do it twice. I don't know how many people are in that situation. But the goal of the engineering challenge is to build a bridge that spans a gap in your house and supports a can of food. You want to try and make this bridge as long as possible without breaking under the weight of the can. So you are going to be building a bridge over a gap as long as possible. I recommend here that you use 2 chairs. You'll be able to move the chairs and make the gap as long as you want. The competition has nothing to do, not really, with how much the bridge can hold, but rather, given any size can, how long can you make the bridge? Okay? So that paper should be about 46.5 inches long, should be roughly rectangular. I don't think it is exactly, but it should be pretty close. You're also going to need several pieces of scrap notebook or printer paper. You are allowed 1 foot of Scotch tape or masking tape or painter's tape in the construction of your bridge. You're going to need to get a can of food. You can get any size can you want. Now, if you're thinking, well, I'm just going to get the smallest can because that's the easiest to hold, I mean, some people are getting small cans. Some people in class are getting medium-sized cans. I'm calling small like diced chili cans or like little tomato sauce cans, tomato paste cans. I'm calling medium like a can of beans or a can of chili. I'm calling large like a big can of beans or something along those lines. So anything probably like bigger than 14 or 15 ounces or something like that. So those are big. Now, I don't want you to start cutting up your black paper immediately. If you have not started the project yet, that is saved for later this week. Do not start cutting up your black paper. Okay, so we're going to go over kind of what's happened. So what you're going to do basically is you're going to build a practice bridge out of your printer paper or notebook paper that you have. Now, notebook or printer paper is 8.5 by 11 inches. So what Mr. Olson and I did is we made sure that we kind of proportioned up the black paper so it was the same, the length and width were the same relative to a piece of printer paper. So it should be like 3 feet, 36 inches wide and roughly 46.5 inches long. And so what that allows you to do is if they're the same shape, if, I'm trying to get this light blotted out, if those 2 pieces of paper are the same shape, what you can then do is when you build your practice piece of paper or your practice bridge out of the printer paper, you can kind of come up with a plan for how you're going to dice up that printer paper to reassemble into a bridge. And then you can take that plan and you can apply it to the large black piece of paper that we have given you. When that time comes, we're not there yet. I don't expect for this project, you can make it whatever you want. I'm sure there are some people that are going to take just throw something together and call it good. I challenge you though to not do that, but rather to try and build like multiple bridges using multiple different techniques, and figure out what didn't work. So like try a couple different ideas with your practice paper. Another thing I'd like to say is when you're building your practice bridges, you do not need to support the can that you've chosen. So before you start building, what I want you to do is I want you to go find a can of food in your house. If you're a little nervous about doing a big heavy can, if you think you can build a bridge that's supporting the can, then go for it. If you want to just do something, you can just do a medium one or you can do a small one. It's up to you. Yeah, so anyways, when you're building your practice bridge, don't use the can. Just use like a little rock or something from outside when you're practicing. You don't have to use this ginormous, like 20-ounce can or 15-ounce can for your tiny piece of printer paper. The can is for the black paper once you build that bridge. Super. Okay. Yeah, so let's go over the rules, how this is going to work and how you're going to take your measurement. You are going to take your chairs, you're going to push them really close together. I'm jumping down into data collection. The rules are you can't tape any part of the bridge to the chairs or to any other object. So the bridge just needs to be resting on the chair. So it should be able to kind of shift back and forth. You cannot provide any support between the bridge and the ground. So like you can't put something underneath the bridge to help hold it up. That's not allowed. And you want the can to stay on there for at least 10 seconds. So here's what's going on. So what we're going to do for the competition, and this is how you can practice with your printer paper, right? You don't have to use chairs with your printer paper. You can use 2 books that are the same size, or 2 bricks or something, or 2 2x4s or whatever, right? 2 blocks. As long as they're the same size, you want it to be level. But you're going to push them really close together. You're going to put your bridge in between the 2 ledges, and then you're going to put your weight in the middle. Now, if you're building it out of printer paper, again, use a small like rock or something. If you're building, and then with the bridge, the black paper, you're going to use the can. But anyway, so you put it on there, and you're going to slowly slide the chairs apart. You're going to wait 10 seconds. So slide them a little bit, wait 10 seconds, make sure it's holding. Slide them a little bit, wait 10 seconds, make sure it's holding. And you're going to keep doing that. Now, as you slide the chairs out, you may need to readjust your bridge. You may need to readjust your can. The can cannot be over here like half resting on the chair. It's got to be directly in the middle of your bridge. So you're going to be pulling those apart, making sure your can is in the middle of the bridge. Separating them and try and make the gap. Now, when the bridge breaks, right? When the bridge breaks, right when it breaks, you're going to stop touching that chair and you're going to take a measurement. That measurement is how far it spanned, okay? Hopefully that makes sense to you. For 5 points, day 1 challenge is I kind of explain what I just did here, and then what I want you to do is, I'll let you read this on your own, but basically just make a practice bridge out of a piece of paper. Now, some of you are like, oh man, I'm just going to roll up my printer paper and then put something on there and submit it. That's a little rough. That's not going to score super high. I'm looking for you to give some thought. So if I look, basically, there's a rubric on Google Classroom for you to check out. But if I look at your bridge and it looks like you put some thought into how you're going to make those supports, you're going to do fine. Okay? If it looks like you rolled up a piece of paper and that's all you submitted, probably build another bridge too. So try and build one. And I also think it's really important if you guys can try and make your bridge longer than the piece of paper itself. Okay, so like a piece of printer paper is 11 inches long. A reasonable goal here would be to try to make your bridge longer than 11 inches, which means you're going to have to get creative in how you join cut pieces of paper together. Okay, so what I need you to submit to me are images. Take a picture of each design when it is complete and post it in Google Classroom under the corresponding assignment, which will be day 1 initial design. So you're just supporting a rock with printer or notebook paper here and submitting it. Okay? And other people aren't going to see it. It's just for me to see your designs. I'm not necessarily going to give you a whole ton of feedback, individual feedback on the design of your bridge, because hopefully you're getting feedback in your attempts when you're building these. You can make this an extremely complicated project. The room for expanding is huge. Okay, when we come to class next time, we're going to go over what we're going to do on day 2. There'll be a separate video for that. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful, and yeah, we'll see you soon.